Are you hungry?
Give me something good.
Hi, and welcome to another episode of Görgött. Today we're cooking a Turkish egg salad. And I didn't know I could love egg salad as much as I do until I had this dish. I had it in a restaurant here in Zurich, a Turkish restaurant called Gül, run by an amazing woman called Elif. And this is her one of her signature dishes in the restaurant. Now, I would say this is inspired by that dish because I don't have the recipe for it. I've seen her make it, I've seen it on TV once, but I couldn't rewatch it, so I'm kind of doing it from memory. I probably left some ingredients out from her original, but I'm pretty sure this is going to taste amazing. So stick with me for that. Before we have a look at the ingredients, do me the favor, support the channel by subscribing and checking the bell icon so that you get the notifications. And now let's have a look on the board. You see, we have quite a bit of herbs here, and that's key for this dish. We have a lot of sorrel, we have some mint, and we have an amazing chive oil. We have some boiled eggs. They're boiled already, because that's a bit boring to watch. I boiled them for 9 minutes. Depending on the size of the eggs, I would say 8 to 9 minutes. These were quite big. 5 eggs. We have some sumac and some Biber. So the sumac, if you don't know it, it has a sour note to it, and the Biber is it's basically chili flakes. We have some pomegranate molasses. We have a bit of vinegar, and we have an egg yolk. Also an onion and a lemon. There's quite a bit of cutting prep, so we'll start with that. But before that, I'll show you how I did the chive oil. If you already know how to make chive oil, just skip to the next kind of chapter in the episode. You can click on it down here. Chive oil is really easy. You just need chives and a neutral oil. I use grapeseed oil because I prefer that. Then we have the Thermomixer, but you could do this in any mixer. If you do it in a mixer that cannot heat, it's important that you heat up the oil first. Around 70 degrees is ideal to kind of get all of the flavor out of the chives. Now I use this to kind of measure, because this is the container I'm going to put it in afterwards. I filled it up to the top. It's going to be less once we sieved it or passed it afterwards, because some oil obviously gets stuck in kind of the meat of the chives. Now you don't have to be too careful with this. You can just kind of make it into a bit smaller pieces. And if you have a good mixer, it will do the rest. Like that. So we're ready to turn this on. It's going to be loud. Run it for 2 to 3 minutes. And in the meantime, you can prepare kind of a ice water bath for the oil. Now I do that by just taking a container, a bowl, filling it with ice cold water and putting another bowl inside, and that cools it down. So I'll see you when this is done in about 3 minutes. We're ready. So we'll let this open, put away the machine, and then we'll cool it. Well, first of all, strain it and then cool it. I'll see you in a bit. Everything is set up, ice cold water. And now we'll just strain this in here. And don't press it, just let it drip through. It will have a nicer, clearer appearance if you do it like that. Perfect. Now just give this some time to strain through and cool down. And that's the chive oil. That's how easy it is to make chive oil. Now it has a wonderful kind of deep green color. And we're going to make an amazing chive oil mayonnaise out of that, together with the egg and the vinegar. But we'll first start with the cutting prep. Now the mint, we're going to keep, well, you can just pick them, but we're going to keep it quite big. So maybe if you have big leaves, just tear them in two. If you have smaller leaves, just leave them whole. So start with your mint, and then we'll continue with the sorrel. Now for our sorrel, we'll just kind of remove the stems. And then we're gonna slice them up. Not chop them, just slice them. So remove all of the stems first. And if the stems are really thick, like on this one, you can also kind of pull it up like that, and then it's nicer in the mouth. And now we're good to go with a knife. Just slicing it thinly. There we are. And we'll put that together with the mint. You can mix it, no problem. And that's it for our herbs. Now let's move on to the onion. Let's do the onion first. And the onion, it's no rocket science. We're just gonna half it and then slice it very thinly. And we're not pickling this or anything. We're leaving it raw to give it that onion sharpness, because we're not using that much of it. I think even half an onion is enough. Like that. Onto the eggs. Now with the eggs, we have one of these nice things. I like to cheat a bit. We just basically want to have chopped eggs. So what you do is you make slices that way, then you turn it around, make slices that way, and then basically you have a rough chop, and that's enough for us. Then we'll just spread that out in the bowl. And this is the quickest way of doing it. Yes, you can chop it finer if you want, but why waste time? It's gonna taste just as good, and it has the perfect size. So do all your 5 eggs. So that's our 5 eggs done. Now let's make the mayo, and we're gonna mix this with the mayo, and it's gonna taste fantastic. Our 4 ingredients for the mayo: we put the egg yolk in, the vinegar, get a good pinch of salt in there. Our chive oil. I'll first mix this through, and now we can start adding oil. Now that's enough for us. We don't want it to be very thick mayonnaise. It's more of kind of an emulsion. And now we pour this over our eggs, and get in there with your hand and mix it. Let's wash off and taste it to see if it needs some more salt or not. Such a nice, vibrant green. A little bit more salt. It has a wonderful chive taste. Last one, hopefully it's good. Perfect. Now we're ready to assemble this dish. But before we do that, do me the huge favor, hit the thumbs up button below. And who knows, I've asked Elif a couple of times to come cook with me on the channel. If you hit the thumbs up button enough, maybe she'll join us once and she can tell us what we did wrong compared to her recipe. And she has some other spectacular recipes that I'm sure she would probably be happy to share with you as well. So let's see, like it a lot, and then maybe she comes on the channel. But now let's plate this up. And let's start with our eggs. Now I'm plating this more like a sharing plate. Obviously, if you want to plate it on individual plates, you could use something like one of these rings and kind of build it in there. But we'll just do it like this. Now we'll spread out some of our thinly sliced onions. You're not going to be able to see this afterwards. I'll show you why, but at least you'll know they're there and you'll be able to taste them. And now for our molasses. Just spread it out. It's again one of these things, you're not going to see it, but you're going to taste it, and it really adds a nice sweet and sour taste. Let's also cut our lemon in half so we can juice it a bit. Make sure you mix your herbs nicely. Now the herbs come all over. And this is the reason that you're not able to see the eggs. But once you eat it, get in there with your cutlery, it's going to be fantastic. Now we're just missing the sumac and the Biber. Don't be shy. It's spicy, but it's not too hot. And we're pretty much done. Let's dig in. Now, well, since I'm alone with you, I'm not going to be sharing the sharing plate. I'm just going to eat straight from it. Go in there, dig down, get a bit of everything. This is so nice and refreshing. Just perfect. So much freshness there from the sorrel, from the molasses, from the lemon juice, from the mint. But also such a richness from the chive mayonnaise that we made. I love this dish. It's a perfect kind of spring summer dish as well. But I cannot finish this plate now. I hope you enjoyed it. It's a simple egg salad, but it's an egg salad with a twist. It's very refreshing. Do me a favor, give it a try yourself. Let me know what you thought. Leave a comment about it. That's it for today. Before you go, don't forget to support this channel by clicking the subscribe, checking the bell icon, and the thumbs up. Take care. Bye-bye.